Here are 5 sample final interview questions that you might hear from an interviewer if you are applying for a position as an executive virtual assistant. And these questions are specifically designed for those who don't have experience as an executive virtual assistant or as a virtual assistant as a whole. This is part 1 of this series. We will have a total of 10 sample final interview questions. So hit that subscribe button so you will be alerted as soon as part 2 of this series is up. Hi everyone, my name is Mia. I'm an executive virtual assistant working in Athena. Now I am an operations manager handling a team of executive virtual assistants. Prior to being in the remote work industry, specifically as an executive virtual assistant, I didn't have any experience in the remote work field. My experience primarily revolves around the BPO industry as a call center agent and a team manager, as well as in the events industry as an event and wedding planner. Before we dive into the questions, these are the general reminders and tips that you should prepare for or you should do prior to attending the final interview or the initial interview. First one is you should always be at least 15 minutes early. Take note that this is for virtual interviews, but you can also use this if you are going to have an in-person interview. So first one is to make sure that you are 15 minutes early. Why? So that you can check if your equipments are working, if your internet is stable, and you can also check how you look like and how you sound like before the actual interview starts. Next is to make sure that you always look presentable from waist up. The initial interview or the final interview is the first impression that you're going to show your interviewer. So you have to make sure that you look professional and presentable. You can wear light makeup or you can just groom yourself. Make sure that your hair is fixed. You're wearing neutral colored clothes. You're wearing probably little to no jewelry, but just make sure that you always look presentable. You should have proper or ample lighting during the interview. You don't have to purchase a ring light or anything like that. You just have to make sure that you are in a well-lit room. Your background should be a wall or something that's blank, if just like probably like this, as long as nobody or no one else can pass at the back and be seen by the interviewer. If your background is not nice and if your laptop is capable to do so, you can use a virtual background to make sure that everything looks presentable during your interview. Now that we got that in the way, let's dive into the 5 questions. So let's hit the ground running and go to the first sample question an interviewer will ask you during your interview. First, how does your previous experience in the particular industry you're in prepare you for the role of an executive virtual assistant? A sample answer would be, and I'm going to read this on the screen. While I haven't worked as a virtual assistant before, my experience in my previous industry or field has equipped me with strong organizational skills, the ability to handle high-pressure situations, and exceptional attention to detail. These qualities will enable me to effectively support executives in managing their tasks and priorities. As you can see, this sample answer is actually very general. So when answering any question during a final interview or an initial interview, you try to be as specific as possible. So you can highlight the specific skills that you were doing or that you are currently doing in your current role. For example, you do inbox management or you do calendar management, you do logistics, you do customer service, and highlight some sample scenarios that you do on a day-to-day basis. You can also provide the tools that you're currently using that you know is something that you will also be using as an executive virtual assistant. Question number 2, can you provide an example of a time when you successfully managed a complex project or task, demonstrating your ability to handle multiple responsibilities? So this question basically would like to gauge your problem-solving skills or just your skill as an employee in general. So a sample answer would be, In my previous role at my previous company, I managed a project that involved coordinating a cross-functional team, setting deadlines, and ensuring that all aspects of the project were completed on time and within budget. This experience has honed my multitasking and project management skills, which are directly transferable to the role of an executive virtual assistant. So, when you are answering any type of questions that is asking you to provide a sample scenario, it is best for you to prepare different type of scenarios that would answer different type of situation. When you're preparing the sample scenario, you should be as detailed as you can be. If you can remember the day, what day it was, what you were wearing, the people you were working with, everything that provides a great detail for that sample scenario is going to be the perfect way to answer this. You can also definitely answer this in a method wherein you provide the situation, you provide what the issue is, and then you provide what the solution you created, as well as your action plans to make sure that you don't encounter said scenario or said issue moving forward. Sample question would be, how do you prioritize tasks and stay organized when faced with competing demands? This question actually tries to gauge how you handle multiple tasks as an employee or as an assistant. It gauges also how you prioritize each task. Like, for example, you are going to decide, let's say, your client or your superior provided you with multiple tasks all at the same time, then you will be the one to decide which one to prioritize based on importance or urgency. So, a sample answer would be, in my previous role, I often had to juggle multiple tasks and deadlines. I would use task lists, set priorities based on urgency and importance, and regularly reassess my workload. This approach allowed me to manage competing demands efficiently and ensures that nothing was overlooked. So, this is where your organizational skills come into play, and you should be able to highlight that. You should also be able to provide the different tools that you are using to make sure that you are able to write down all of the tasks that are assigned to you and your critical thinking skills to decide which one to prioritize and which one to do on a later time. Take note that when you are an executive virtual assistant or when you are applying for a remote work position, you should always highlight the tools that you know how to use, because that's very important that your recruiter knows that you are familiar with the different type of tools that are out there. That's because different clients that might get matched to you will be using different types of tools. It's not like one tool for all of the clients all over the world. So you should be able to highlight that you can adapt to different tools that are available for you to use and help you stay organized and work efficiently. Let's move on to sample question number 4. How do you adapt to new tools and technology? Just like I mentioned with sample number 3, there are different tools, especially at this day and age, that really pops out of nowhere almost every day. Currently, there is a rise of different AI tools that would help you in improving your work efficiency and effectivity. So, for this question, you have to make sure that you are able to highlight your attitude in terms of upskilling, especially again in a virtual world wherein there are new tools that are coming up or are being launched on a daily basis. You should be able to show your interviewer that you can easily adapt and easily learn. And you are also very much willing to learn. You don't actually wait for your client to inform you that, hey, these are the tools that I want you to, or I want us to use moving forward. You should be able to show, when answering this question, you should be able to show your proactivity in terms of willingness to learn new tools. You should be able to reflect that you are the one who's actually actively searching for different tools that would help you and your client to reach your common goals. So, sample answer for this question is, I'm known for my ability to quickly learn and adapt to new tools and technology. In my previous role, I had to transition to a new project management software and become proficient in it within a short period. I'm confident that I can do the same when working with the specific tools and software used in this role. Again, these sample questions are very general, so make sure that when you answer these questions, you try to be as detailed as possible. Cite examples of or scenarios wherein you had to learn new tools, how you learned this tool, how if you enrolled in a specific course, if you are following a specific YouTube creator and you are watching their tutorials for you to be able to learn this new skill, if you reached out to a fellow remote worker who you know is an expert in this specific tool or skill, you should be as detailed as you can be. Cite specific examples of tools that you know how to use and how you taught yourself to use them. Try to also cite tools that you know are up and coming so that your interviewer or your recruiter will have an idea that you are familiar with the tools that will be used in a few weeks or in a few months. So make sure that you always highlight those things when answering this type of question. And we are down for the last question. Number 5 on part 1 of sample final interview questions that will be asked to you when applying for a position as a virtual assistant. And these questions are specifically designed for people who don't have experience as a virtual assistant or an executive virtual assistant. Fifth question is, describe a time when you had to manage sensitive or confidential information and the steps you took to ensure security. As an executive virtual assistant, you are working with C-level executives. They can be company owners, directors, CEOs, COOs, the big names in the company that they are working for. And confidentiality and security is very important for these type of people, especially if they are working in a startup. So it is crucial for an interviewer to understand how you handle sensitive information to avoid data breach or security breaches. Especially when we're working in the virtual world, everything is online. So we have to ensure that we are prepared whenever there is hackers that are trying to get into our system. So this is your chance to show your interviewer your knowledge in terms of ensuring the security and the confidentiality of the information given to you as an executive VA. So the sample answer for this question would be, in my previous role, I often deal with sensitive customer data and financial information. To ensure security, I strictly followed company protocols, used secure communication channels, and regularly updated passwords. I also took data privacy training to stay up to date with best practices and compliance regulations. Another way to answer this question is again to provide a sample scenario. You can tell your interviewer that on your current work, you handle sensitive information such as customer data and all of those things. You can also highlight the fact that, just as said in the sample answer, you've gone through security training. You can also highlight the fact that you have never been tagged or called upon in terms of security or confidentiality breaches. You also should highlight that you don't take out information or customer information outside of your office, since if you are working in an office and your computer or your equipment is situated in your office, you have to highlight that you leave all of the information in your office and don't take it out. Try to also highlight your familiarity with the different terms of confidentiality breaches or security breaches, such as, let's say, email phishing, wherein you will receive emails from a bank or someone pretending to be a bank asking for your personal information and asking you to click a specific link. You should be able to tell them that you know how to look out for those type of phishing emails. So familiarize yourself with the different attacks that are out there being done by sinister individuals that would try to breach your company's security. In that way, your interviewer or your recruiter will definitely see that you are familiar with this type of attacks and you are always on the lookout, which shows that you are aware of the vulnerability that confidential information has out there, and you take in extra measures to make sure that you don't fall victim to those type of traps. Now that you have an idea of the 5 common questions that would be asked for you during an initial interview or a final interview, specifically for someone who does not have an experience in the remote work industry or as an executive virtual assistant, you can already practice how you're going to answer this different questions. You can also start preparing for the different scenarios that you can use to answer during the scenario-based questions. If you would like to find out more about how to succeed as an executive virtual assistant, we do have an upcoming in-person event happening on January 27, 2024 from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. And this event is the Executive Assistant Edge. Skills and strategies for a higher income. I will be talking about the different skills that you need to equip yourself to be able to succeed as an executive virtual assistant and the strategies that you can take for you to be able to earn a lot as an executive VA in this remote work industry. Seats are limited. It's for 40 guests only, and the event will take place at Blogger Creator Hub, an amazing venue for creators like me. It will be at Mega Tower at Mega Mall in Ortigas. So if you're watching this and you're from Manila or cities near Manila, then you can definitely check out the link in the description down below so you can register. Tickets are for sale at 699 pesos. My fellow executive virtual assistants will also be joining me during this event, and we will be talking about and you will be hearing about their success stories in this remote work in the executive virtual assistant field. And I'd like to take this opportunity to thank Blogapalooza and Blogger Creator Hub for this amazing partnership and collaboration. This event would not be possible if it wasn't for you and for your team. So shout out to Blogger Creator Hub and Blogapalooza. If you are a creator like me and you're interested in also having your own event, check out the Blogger Creator Hub. Do you want a place to shoot your content? Are you someone who needs a place for your community gathering? Maybe you want to host events, workshops, parties, shoots, meetups, pop-up shops, podcast recording sessions, and more? Well, no worries anymore. We've got a place. Blogger Creator Hub by Blogapalooza. Blogger Creator Hub is conveniently located on the 7th floor of Mega Tower, offering breathtaking views and a vibrant atmosphere that'll get your creative juices flowing. Starting from SM Mega Mall Fashion Hall, make your way to Mega Tower. Once you're at the lobby, head to the reception area and complete the required information. Locate and board an elevator that will take you to the 7th floor. After reaching the 7th floor, take a right turn to reach Blogger Creator Hub. There are different spaces that you can use. Here we have the BCH Lounge, where you can host events, seminars, gatherings with your friends and family and your community. We also have the CEO office that you can use for your own private working space and probably have your own photo shoots as well. This incredible place is the first brand-powered creator and content studio by Blogapalooza. This place is a game changer for creators like you, offering a wide range of facilities to bring your content to life. Whether you're a blogger, vlogger, podcaster, or social media influencer, Blogga Creator Hub has got you covered. But it's not just about the facilities, it's about the community. Here, you'll connect with like-minded creators, collaborate with brands, and unleash your creativity. It's where the magic happens and the opportunities are endless. So, what are you waiting for? The Blogga Creator Hub is more than just a space. It's a community, a source of inspiration, and a platform to elevate your content game. So come on over and experience the magic for yourself. See you soon, Blogga fam! I hope you liked that mini virtual tour of Blogga Creator Hub. Isn't it such an amazing venue for your intimate events? I hope to have a continuous partnership with Blogga Creator Hub and Bloggapalooza so that I can host all of my events in their amazing venue. And I would also like to thank our other partners and collaborators that is going to make our first ever in-person seminar successful. If you are someone who's interested in learning how to become an executive virtual assistant, then you might be interested in enrolling in my online course. It's a self-paced online course with 16 modules and 16 hours worth of tutorial videos with downloadable templates. You're going to have lifetime access to these modules or this online course. Please take note, this is a paid online course. Wherever you are in the world, you can definitely enroll in this course. We accept payments via PayPal. All you have to do is click the link in the caption down below. And if you are from the Philippines, we accept payments via GCash. Again, just check out the link in the caption down below. If you are someone who's interested in learning how to become a general virtual assistant, we do have an 8-day bootcamp just for you via Code Go. All you have to do is click the link in the caption down below. When enrolling in the 10-day bootcamp, make sure to use my code MJCodeGo so that you will receive free e-workbooks that will help you gain experience as a general VA even without having your first client yet. If you're someone who's on a tight budget, you don't have a budget to enroll in our online course, and you don't have a budget to enroll in our bootcamp, you can definitely subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you can continuously get free content. And you can also join our free community via NAS.io, which is in the caption down below, where you will find different modules that will help you start in your freelancing or remote work career. You can also join our free Discord community so that you can meet me there in person. I try to hang out there on a daily basis wherein we can enjoy co-working together, and you can ask me all of the questions that you want about how to succeed in the remote work industry. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. I hope you learned a lot in our topic for today. Make sure to subscribe so that you will be alerted as soon as part 2 of this final interview series is available next week. Have a great day to all future executive virtual assistants, and stay safe always. Bye.